The 3 best cold Facebook ad audiences specifically for coaches. If you are a coach who wants to use Facebook advertising to find people who are complete strangers but are your perfect demographic so that you can convert them into clients in a very short space of time, then having the right targeting is the missing piece right there. Doesn't matter how good the images are, the copy is, or any other part of the advert. It doesn't matter how good it is if it is in front of the wrong person. Today in this episode, we are going to go through on the dashboard the 3 best cold audiences specifically for coaches, and you're even going to be able to customize it directly to yourself, your niche, your products, your prices, all of those things. You're going to walk away on the other side of this episode with pinpoint targeting for your cold audiences. Now, if you're new here, every single week we share 2 or 3 videos showcasing exactly how you can generate more clients through Facebook ads and funnels for your coaching business. Tried and tested for 8.5 years on thousands of coaching businesses inside the 90-day Ads and Funnels Mastermind, which, by the way, the next intake is just around the corner. I'll drop the link down below. But if you're new here, then hit subscribe, hit like on this video, and if you're a really good person, drop a wee comment below. Would love to know your thoughts at the end of the video. Okay, so as we dive into the dashboard here in just 1 second, I just want to make crystal clear that when you're advertising, you should be targeting 2 groups of people: warm audiences and cold audiences. Warm audiences are people who already know who you are. Cold audiences are people who do not know who you are. So they're not the people who have been on your socials, who follow you, who've watched your videos, who've visited your website. These are people who you are targeting using some of Facebook's tools that allow you to pinpoint the type of people you want them to go and find and put your adverts in front of. Most coaches out there who have even been using advertising for a few years, and to be honest, most agencies as well, think that there's 2 ways of doing this, and that is to go to detailed targeting, previously known as interest targeting, or create a lookalike audience. We're not even going to talk about lookalike audiences, and we're going to go through 3 different ways to find your perfect cold audiences. Let's get started. Okay, so we're in the dashboard now, and we're just going to dive in, hit the green create button, and go and create a brand new campaign. The reason we're going to do this is so that we can go to step 2 of 3, and we're going to go through some of the targeting options so I can literally show you what these 3 advanced cold targeting options are that are absolutely tremendous for coaches to find clients. So let's go ahead and hit the green create button right here. Just for easiness, we'll use the traffic option. Okay, it doesn't really matter what we're going to use in terms of the targeting here. All of these options would be available across the board. So let's go in here. And so you've got 3 different levels with your campaign. You've got the top level, which is your campaign. Okay, so that's step 1 of any campaign, as it were. It's the campaign level, which is the what. So let's say that you want people to visit your website, you want people to opt into a 5-day challenge, you want people to come through a lead magnet, you want people to book a call. It's basically the what. If we were starting a new campaign, let's say it was a 5-day challenge, we'd say 5-day challenge, and we'd maybe call this cold, right? Because it's going to be your cold campaign. Okay, that's what we're talking about today. Inside there, you have your ad set. Now, your ad set, for easiness of understanding, is like your audience. It's like the who is going to see your advert. So in here, let's say, well, we don't know what it's going to be yet until I walk you through this, but let's say it's cold audience 1. Now, when I showcase this inside the 90-day Ads and Funnels Mastermind, we literally have, like, when we're setting up ads in all of our ad systems, it's literally start to finish about, well, it depends on the system. One's about 19 minutes long from start to finish to create the whole campaign. Another one's 57 minutes. It depends upon what you're creating, but we would typically have multiple audiences in here. So Facebook is not only being given 1 option to go and find a winner. So I'll show you how to create 3 here, for instance, today. One thing to really point out is that it's important for you, and especially if you're working with somebody like myself or, you know, another mentor of sorts or an agency, it's really important that you label well so that you know what this is. Okay, so for instance, I wouldn't actually call it cold audience 1. Whatever I was going to target, that's what I would name it, so that I can see in a snapshot what is working and what isn't. Cold audience number 1, and we're going to go all the way down, and we're going to hit switch to original audience options. So Facebook does this really annoying thing where they do updates all the time, and they're trying to simplify creating ads so that people who are scared of running ads or think that they're complicated see them as easier to do. However, you miss out on so many of the great things with Facebook ads for targeting and many other things within your campaign that can make them hyper successful. Clicking doing this and having it reopen with all the original options is one of those things, okay? So inside here, I'm gonna show you a couple of things that work incredibly well. One of those things is I'm gonna come into custom audiences here, and I just want you to select a custom audience that is important to you, okay? So that custom audience for you might be Facebook 7 days. So people who have visited your Facebook page in the last 7 days. Now, one thing that most people should be doing if they're creating a warm campaign is they should be deselecting this box right here, okay? Advantage custom audience is basically saying to Facebook, if you want to target Facebook, like people who have visited your Facebook page in the last 7 days, then hey, you can actually go and find anybody that you want, right? So let's say that there's, let's say 1,000 people inside that audience. It's basically saying to Facebook, go and find anybody within the location and age groups that I've selected that look a bit like this person. Okay, now if this was your warm campaign, and people get this wrong all the time, if you are creating custom audiences so that you can target people who have visited your Instagram page, your Facebook page, your website, people who have viewed your videos, people who are on your email list, and all of these great audiences that you can target, if you select this box, you're in big trouble, right? Because you don't have a warm audience anymore. This is a cold audience. But if you're creating a cold audience, this can be an incredible tool, because where you can create a lookalike audience, so we can go create new here, we can create a lookalike audience. When we create a lookalike audience, it's creating a lookalike audience in that moment. Whereas with Advantage Custom Audience, what's really happening there is it's like lookalike audiences are being created and evolving in real time, right? So for easiness of understanding, if you're new to Facebook ads, I'm just going to say it in the simplest way to understand possible, which is this is saying go and find people who look like the people who have visited my Facebook page in the last 7 days. This is an incredible tool for cold audience targeting. We do it within a 5-step framework inside the Ads Funnels Mastermind. It's something that typically comes into people's game plans around week 5, 6, or 7, and we call it our silver bullet campaign, and we actually have a full training and system on it. But for easiness of understanding inside this short video here, this is what you're looking to do. It's selecting custom audiences that are, you know, very, very specific, such as Facebook 7 days, or you'd go for something that was actually a little bit juicier and a bigger indication that they are maybe people that you would like to work with. So I sometimes do 7-day stack, which is Facebook 7 days, Instagram 7 days, website 7 days. Okay, so that's one that you could do that would be really good. Another one that you could do would be a website, and you could do 30 days or 180 days, or video views. So we don't have video views set up. But anyway, video views, 25%. Okay, so if you've got video views, people who have watched any of your videos, 25%. If you're somebody who does a lot of reels and things of that nature, then I would suggest that you create an audience of people who have watched at least 50% of any of your videos in the last 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, and then create an advanced custom audience like that. That's number one right there. Now we have deselected this so that I can show you something else. However, let's just say that that was cold audience number one. I'm going to quickly duplicate and show you that we would now create cold audience number 2. Okay, just so you can see how this could all come together and give you some audiences that you could test side by side. Okay, so let's just say that in cold audience number 1, we've done an advanced audience on people who have visited your Facebook in the last 7 days. Okay, so let's now go into cold audience number 2. Now, what I'm going to suggest here is that you come in and you use detailed targeting. Now, with detailed targeting, previously known as interest targeting, detailed targeting is absolutely incredible, but people go for very, very weird and wonderful things, right? So sometimes when I'm doing an audit for a new client that comes in, I typically, if they've been running advertising before we even get started, I'm looking to see if there's any data in there that can allow us to really ramp things up for them rather than having to start completely from scratch, okay? And one of those things that I'll see is that sometimes who they've been targeting is like, I don't know how they came up with the ideas, never mind the fact that they didn't work. Now, one of the things that you'll want to do is, you know, as does what it says in the tin as humanly possible. If you're a fitness coach, target fitness. If you're a mindset coach, target mindset. If you're an advertising coach like myself, then people interested in advertising, paid advertising, or something to that effect, okay? But another category that works insanely well is matching themes. Okay, now matching themes is essentially like saying, if somebody was interested in this, what else might they be interested in? And there's no right or wrong really to this, as long as you know your demographic and you can hazard some decent guesses, okay? For instance, let's say that you're a weight loss coach and you targeted weight loss. So you came in here and let's see if it's even available, but weight loss. So weight loss, let's do dieting. So diet, all right, diet job titles, healthy diet interests. We'll see if dieting is here. Okay, so maybe like healthy diet might be like the top line. Okay, so we might do like healthy diet. And then second of all is like, if you're a fitness coach and that is like your general interest, what would a matching theme be? It's like, okay, well, if somebody was interested in dieting, losing weight, healthy diet, or something to that effect, what else might they be interested in? I would say things like Peloton, maybe Les Mills, maybe group classes. So now we can go and look for some of those ones and they can work tremendously well. Okay, so for instance, we can see if Peloton is here. So Peloton is there, albeit it is, so this is one, interest, Peloton, cycling. Okay, so this right here, we can find people who are likely to be within our demographic, the type of people that we're interested in targeting. Further, Peloton's quite a good one if you're in the health and fitness space, by the way. And I mean, like, we've got tons of people using this interest. It is kind of one of those ones where people go, oh, but loads of people are using it therefore, so there's tons of competition. There's no shortage of competition in the marketplace for advertising, so don't worry about that. Peloton works insanely well. One of the reasons is because of the type of people, or their interest is in losing weight, getting fitter, and things of that nature. Second of all, Peloton is a very, very expensive tool. Okay, it's a very expensive static bike, and we've actually got the treadmill in our garage. So I happen to know that Peloton is pretty extortionate, if I'm going to be honest. But anyway, Peloton is a really good one to target because it also means that somebody was within the affordability, or at least considering the affordability of something like Peloton. So it's quite good for finding people. If you're selling high ticket coaching and things of that nature, it's good for quality of leads that come through also. Okay, so that's number 2 there, is matching themes, right? So to come into detailed targeting and not just target your general interest, but actually matching themes, things that they would be interested in if they were interested in the first one. Okay, now this is a trick here that I'm going to show you, which is my number 3, right? So when I say through the Shoney 255 method and more advanced strategies that we do with the silver bullet campaign and things of that nature, that you should be targeting your audiences broadly. Okay, so again, another mistake that loads of people make is they go and select like 15 different interests and they throw them all together. If you've got a half decent cost per lead, you don't know what you're supposed to change. You've got technically one audience. You go, no, I've got 15 audiences, Neil. No, you don't. You've got 15 audiences bundled together into one ad set, which means that it will just say that this one ad set is getting leads at £3 a lead or $3 a lead, okay? In that type of situation, you don't know what to turn off, to change, remove from the interest. You don't know which ones are winning. That's why I create them like this individually with one audience at a time. We'll sometimes bundle a couple of them together if they're very closely related, but we break them out individually so that we might see that cold audience number 1 has a $3 lead, cold audience number 2 might be $6 a lead, but then cold audience number 3 might be 56 cents per lead. Okay, so an absolute screamer. And we now know that we need to turn off cold audience number 2 because the cost per lead is terrible, and we can focus all the budget on the places where the great cost per lead actually is. Okay, and so the next thing that you want to do here, and this is number 3, is to come up with those additional ideas, albeit that, again, in the Ads and Funnels Mastermind, we don't even get people to hit the suggestions button. We have a very set structure for audience number 1, audience number 2, audience number 3, so on and so forth. However, for you here, coming up with multiple ideas that would be highly relevant, and I know people really struggle with this, put in something here. You have to put something in here first for this to work. So a matching theme or a general interest, and then hit the suggestions button. Okay, and the suggestions button is going to come up with a whole bunch of different ideas that are very closely related, right? And they'll come at different angles. Some of them are other cycle companies. Some are apparel companies for people who are interested in fitness. Some of them are actual types of fitnesses and companies. Some of them are gyms. But you can see that you can have tons of variation here thrown at you as ideas through suggestions, okay? So if you're looking to find complete strangers who can turn into clients in a very, very short space of time because they're highly targeted, they're problem-aware people seeking out a solution who are within your target demographic, then these are 3 incredible tools that you can use to find them. You don't want to just use them individually, one at a time, and see what works. You want to split them out into one single campaign so that you can let Facebook go and find out which ones are the winner. There's no guessing with Facebook ads. The reason that we can get such incredible results with our clients is because we have a framework that allows them to make best guesses. And then from there, Facebook can go out and show them which ones are going to be the winner. Most people, well, 99% plus of people using Facebook ads run what I call a 1-1-1 campaign and are targeting one audience at a time. And when you're targeting only one audience, it's like tossing a coin and seeing if it's going to land on the one that you chose. Okay, so it's like a 50-50 chance. You have no idea if it's going to work, but with this system right here, you're giving yourself the best chance of all of your audiences being successful. But hey, by choosing them well like this, you're destined to have 1, 2, or 3 audiences that come out as absolute screamers. Very low cost per lead that come through that aren't just a low cost per lead, but even better quality. And so if this has been valuable to you, please, as always, down below, hit subscribe, hit the like button, and if you're a really good person, drop a comment below. Let me know if this has been valuable, any key takeaways, and indeed, if you want me to create any types of videos around anything specifically, then please let me know as well. Other than that, all links to anything, freebies, and 90-day Ads and Funnels Mastermind will also be down in the description. Thanks so much for being here, and I'll see you in the next video.